All right, all right, all right. I don't even have
What's
anything
going
for
on, people? It's the Saturday night edition of the Life Gains live stream. I've got the homie Moochella who hang with the fellas, and we got another special
Damn.
guest coming through in just a second. You guys have seen this young lady. Her link will be in the description when she gets in here. And we're in here to talk about a show that a lot of us said we wasn't going to watch because we didn't think it was going to be any good. We thought that they was going to ruin our childhoods, and got to be more careful. We couldn't have been so wrong. Muchella, how you doing tonight? Ready to talk a little bit of this Bel-Air air?
I liked it. This episode was crazy. Hey, she's on. What happened? Where'd she go?
She'll be back. She'll be back. Miss Awwsum got the hair done, everything done, looking great. But something happened to her device. She'll be back in a second, so y'all just sit tight. But Moochie, what did you feel about this episode?
This episode, we're gonna look, if we're gonna do like a comparison with the Fresh Prince, this was comparison with when Carlton got pulled over by the police, I think, right?
Yeah,
and they had the little incident with the police. So I think he's finally getting a dose of reality to me. He got a little dose of reality. He got his black wake up call.
Do you remember I said that I felt like last week when Will gave him that hug, I felt like that could be the beginning of a turning point. And throughout this episode, there was a lot of things that kept happening that I was like, this is the moment Carlton and Will going to really be buddies. Until the very end of the episode, Moochie. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go back and recall what happened at the very end of this episode. And me, Moochie, and our special guest, we're going to start right here at the end and work our way back. Take a look at this,
right,
Moochie.
Cool.
Some new guests are about to arrive. Enjoy, asshole.
LAPD!
I'm Lisa Wilkes. Fred Wilkes is my father.
You're Chief Wilkes' daughter?
Carlton eyes Will.
Yes. And he wants to speak with you.
The officer takes her phone.
That was crazy.
So, Moochie, I got to ask you right now. I'm going to just start out with you, then we'll see what the guests in there are talking about. By the way, shout out to everybody coming here on a Saturday night to see us. You guys could be doing anything on this Saturday night. And right now, we've got 65 in the building, but you tuned in to see me and the homie Moochella, whose hair is looking on fleek. Put them hammers up for the sister Moochie. Put them hammers up. We're grateful to y'all to come in here and spend some time with us. So, Moochie, here's the big question as we're going to dissect that particular scene. First and foremost, is Will wrong? And is Lisa wrong? Will for sleeping with his cousin's ex-girl, and Lisa for sleeping with her ex-friend's cousin.
I feel like they both were wrong. He should have been off limits. She should have been off limits to Will. As much as you like her, attracted to her, as much as y'all are vibing, I feel like that she should have been off limits. Especially you already had a hard time getting along with Carlton.
Right.
So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got her in the building. We got her in the building now. It's Awwsum Speaks. Got the hair looking right, the eyebrows on fleek, the teeth clean as fuck. Everything going her way tonight. Please subscribe to her channel. Link and her IG is in the description. So, Miss Awwsum, how did you like this episode of The Fresh Prince? I mean, excuse me, Bel-Air.
Yes, get it right, Bel-Air, right? How you doing, Moochella? How you doing, everybody? Good evening. How you doing, Lamont? Thanks for having me.
I'm good.
This last episode was really, really good. I mean, things are heating up between Carlton and Will. It's just a matter of time before we see where things go. But I'm with Lisa. He has so many emotions. I mean, Jesus, it really is like walking on eggshells when you're dealing with him.
I agree with that, but do you think that Will and Lisa are wrong for dating each other, even though she supposedly moved on beyond Carlton? He still has feelings. Do you feel like this is one of them situations where you know, this is my cousin's ex-girl, blah, 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 and they should have moved on? Or are you comfortable with their relationship?
See, that one is a hard one. I think if Carlton would have been a little bit more warming to Will at first, he might have respected the relationship and just kept it more as friends. But honestly, Will was into her from the first time he saw her. And it was, you know, and that was before he knew anything about the, you know, Carlton and Lisa's past relationship. So I don't think Will is wrong, honestly. Especially after he turned the whole school against them.
I'm on the fence a little bit. When I say I'm on the fence, I guess let me spell it out here. Lisa and Will are high school students. How many intelligent, sentient decisions was we making as high school students, especially about things like this? And so on one hand, I'm trying to tell myself they was wrong, but on the other hand, it's like, as young as they are, they don't have discernment to understand this situation. I would have felt a lot better if Will would have told Carlton before Carlton found out, before he seen what happened when they came down the stairs. I would have felt a lot better about it. But having said that, I'll come to you, Moochie. How they gonna fix this situation? Lisa done saved Carlton. Carlton is very upset with them because he know what was going on upstairs. They can lie and say they was up there studying. They can lie and say they was up there having popcorn watching Independence Day. But Carlton know good and damn well you don't come downstairs halfway dressed, clothes all open like this if you up there watching Independence Day. So Moochie, is this the moment that Carlton is going to spill the beans and ruin his daddy's campaign?
If he does that, he's selfish. That's an act of a selfish person. If if they shot the fair one, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like if he does that, it's gonna really make things bad. And they had enough time she had enough time to get herself together before she came downstairs. They saw the red lights and the silhouette when they was in the bed.
Wait a minute, Moochie. Miss Awwsum, speak on it. Lord,
Moochie is exactly correct. First of all, that was the wrong time to make that like your first time. Okay. I don't care how you were feeling. It was like a whole party going on. You know, he didn't tell Will anything yet. So I think Lisa is a little bit more at fault for this because she's the one who was like, yeah, I'm ready. And Will's like, you could tell that he was a virgin, a virginess, because he was like checking in with her. But at the same time, I don't think he would have went that route if she didn't go that route. I think they should have just chilled out to the end of the party, use that as the time, like he said, to tell Carlton. But now this is just going to be a whole nother thing between them. And who knows where this is going to go. But if he ends up telling a secret, it would only hurt him in the end because it would definitely hurt his pocket.
Yeah, it's going to hurt the family as a unit. He's a part of that unit. The sister Inga71 says, your cousin's ex is off limits. That is still family. And I would agree with that, but everybody doesn't
agree too.
Everybody doesn't get taught that. I ain't get taught that. Ain't nobody never tell me I ain't supposed to mess with someone, my cousin. I didn't get taught that. And I know a lot of people I didn't even think that it's not moral. I never got taught that moral. So like if you was to say to me, Lamont, you should put a napkin on your chest before you eat. Ain't nobody teach me that. So I don't know that it's wrong. I don't know that that's something wrong to do. And I know a lot of people that's been caught up in this situation don't know it's wrong until after the fact, till after the aftermath happens. But go ahead, Miss Awwsum.
I was going to say, I don't think that Will isn't taught that. I think that if it was like, let's say it was a situation between him and Trey before he got out to California, I definitely don't think he would have been with his boy's girlfriend like that or ex.
Yeah.
I think it was more of two situations happening. One, Will and Lisa met and they were feeling each other way before they found out that it was, an ex situation with Carlton. And then even after they were feeling each other, Lisa's just as much fault as Will is because, me as a girl, if I know that I was, dating a guy even if I met his cousin and I liked him, it would still be like, ugh, that's a family thing. And she's already gotten between them. So she's just as much as fault as Will is.
So check this out. Baby Bruiser is making the point that I was going to throw at y'all next, but I'm going to go here first. Obviously, Uncle Phil didn't mind, so it shouldn't have a big deal. Well, the only reason Uncle Phil had opposition to it was because he knows who Lisa's daddy was. Other than that, Uncle Phil was like, if you get close to somebody like this, you're going to start opening up secrets, as though he was complicit in them having the relationship if he wasn't running for office. And Lisa's daddy really didn't say you should stay away from Will because didn't you date Carlton? He said basically the same thing Uncle Phil said. I want you to stay away from this family till after the campaign. He didn't say it's immorally wrong, none of that stuff. He just said stay away from them till after the campaign. So if you're going to go down the morality thing, neither male in these people's lives said it was wrong because you dated the cousin. Ain't like Awwsum, I'm on Awwsum side on that one. But it is a slippery slope. Go ahead, Moochie.
I'm looking at it the way Awwsum is looking at it. Mm-hmm. And I do understand, like from the first episode when he came there, he was intrigued by her and didn't know all of this. So now I see why you guys don't think it's wrong.
No, but Moochie, even having said that, after they felt each other, they did learn. Well, Will learned that this was Carlton's ex. So if they could have nipped it in the bud, even after having all that raw attraction and all that feeling, but Lisa had moved on from Carlton because she felt like, dude, he's cokehead or whatever the issues were. She's walking on eggshells with him, and I just honestly think that they should have just sat down and just said, look, Carlton, I know you. Carlton didn't want Will having nothing to do with Lisa. Mm-hmm. And Will was there in Lisa's dire moments when she had to fall out with that damn what is Angela at the Bel-Air party, and the daddy said we're leaving. You know, Lisa was there basically by herself until Will came to comfort her.
Right, because so he was too busy spazzing out.
Yes. So it's a slippery slope, but let me throw you both a curveball. Y'all gonna love this one. Miss Awwsum, we saw Will beat, but we ain't see him put no condoms in between them sheets. So could this be the way we get baby Nicky? Could Lisa pop up pregnant and then we got baby Nicky? Talk to me. You see how they've been kind of re-additioning different things in this story. Is this going to be how we get baby Nicky?
I mean, who knows? It's possible. You know, like you said, there was no use or no mention of a condom being used. We would hope to assume that one was, but you never know. But I wanted to bring up another point. You know, like we're talking about them like they are adults, even though they are young teens. And I think that this is why this is a great and well-written script when it comes along to the characters, because they are acting like how teenagers would act. That's why, you know, it would be the perfect conundrum for her to end up pregnant. You know, to bring the families together, you know, two fathers that hate each other, you know, but yet they have to find a way to manage to work things out because of now this newborn child. So, I mean, that would just make things more interesting. I'm very intrigued by the wife's backstory, you know, and her play as well with the other artist. What was his name again? Rashid?
The who's that?
Michael Ealy, the character that's played by Michael Ealy.
Do you want the nickname I gave him, or do you want his real name? His real name is Riley Broderick, but I call his ass light skin eyes tapestry because he gets on my nerve. Yes,
his voice is really annoying. The way he talks to her.
The reason he gets on my nerve because he's playing the hell out of his role. Usually when I pick on somebody, they're doing a great job in their role. And Michael Ealy's, to me, is very underrated. In how can I put this? In the roles I think he's capable of doing for whatever the reason, he's not doing a bunch of those because the dude can act his ass off. But light skin eyes tapestries better leave my TV wife Vivian alone. And I'm about to kick her to the curb, Moochie. I'm about to slice her the same way I had to get rid of Lock and Key. I'm about to get rid of Vivian too. Damn, I'm done.
So you kicking her to the curb?
Don't do that.
I done went and asked my wife, can I come back home? Because another TV wife done failed me. And she said, honey, I'm going to give you one more chance. So I'm getting ready to kick Vivian to the curb because she tripping.
It's only episode 7. What did she do?
She didn't do
you talking about with light skin tapestry?
Light skin tapestries, Art Deco, yes.
He makes her feel loved. You know, he makes her feel wanted in the world.
Doesn't matter. If you're married, you're supposed to set a boundary and don't cross it. And when you know someone makes you feel that way, the therapist told me that's when you really have to put up a barrier and not give in to those impulses and talk it through with the person you are currently with. That's what the therapist said.
I mean, well, it's only going to get worse if she now that she's interested in this fellowship. That's only going to mean that she spends more time with your light skin tapestry. Unfortunately, I think one thing is going to be led to another. Now, that's a baby we might not see coming.
Exactly. See, you ain't even mentioned that.
I already did a video where I said we're gonna get baby Nicky from them two, but I'm trying my best not to put my mouth on that no more because I don't want to see it happen. I really don't want to kick her off the TV wife team just yet because I still got hope for Vivian. You know, I got hope, but like Awwsum said, people, there's gonna be long nights on the road, touring around the world, doing the art tapestries. And I call him art tapestries because he wants to tap Vivian. Not because he's artistic, no, fucker. It's because he wants to put his art deco tapestries in Vivian, and I'm not feeling this plan. And they're going to be going on tours and having to spend late nights together, drinking, you know, all kinds of fine juices, and him up there talking that long sexual charge talk. You know, your paintings are so provocative. I could stare into your masterpiece all night long.
So they're going to be drinking juices and mixing juices.
Moochie.
Ooh.
Moochie. Moochie. See, Lord have Moochie.
Something about that just didn't sound
I know that's your TV wife. Listen, but she did peep how he got a little harem situation going on. I got the picture. Hold up. Nice. You know I got the picture. I got evidence when I'm putting my stuff together. Let me find that picture. Let me find it. Because let me set the narrative for y'all so you know what Moochie's talking about. So Vivian done told Phil, I need to go. By the way, Phil was wrong. Here's another thing that you don't do in no relationship. When you're married, you do not go spend huge lump sums of money without talking it over with your spouse. I don't give a damn if your spouse don't work. You are a union. It don't matter if you got separate accounts. It don't matter if you've got your own personal account. You should have your own personal account. But when huge, large financial transactions that can impact the family are made, it don't give a damn how the money got there. You have to tell your spouse because in itself, that is almost a move of distrust. It is distrust. So he was wrong.
And that's what turned her right into light skin tapestry's direction.
Well, she was going that way anyway.
But that kind of like pushed. Yeah, that kind of like pushed it. Especially the campaign manager didn't make it any better.
You know what? I wanted to cuss him out too. Lord, I don't
like him.
Lord, I wanted to cuss Steve out too because Steve. First of all, you ain't had a cop block like that, man. You could have said something later. I'm trying to get the story together to tell Vivian. I'm trying to land this plane softly. All right. Steve caused the plane to crash. And I love when Vivian says, Steve, how much you giving to this campaign? His ass got quiet as a church mouse.
And sat all the way back.
And finished drinking his coffee, whatever he was drinking. But anyway, getting on down here to talking about what, hold on, let me highlight Baby Bruiser. Okay, he says, all I'm going to say is This will Aunt Viv let Reed talk to her the way he do in front of Uncle Phil. Okay, to some degree, yeah, I'll give you that. But I'm gonna get to my whole story on that in a minute. So she got twisted and decided, you know what? Because Phil, you created a situation where I'm upset with you. I'm going to this art gala with Old Boy. And she didn't tell Phil Old Boy was going to be there, but she knew he was going to be there. We get to the art gallery, and this is what Moochie's talking about. Dude think he R. Kelly. Nothing but a harem of women surrounding him. He in there laughing, skinning, and grinning, and just
Not R. Kelly.
And he shut down that harem of women the minute he saw all this dark chocolate walk up. He shut that shit down in 2 minutes. And by the way, she was looking good in that dress too. Just saying. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm trying not to give up on my TV wife. But damn it, girl, I can't juggle women who juggling too many men. Okay. Anyway, Moochie, speak on this whole thing and your boy and his harem of women.
When I seen that, she saw that. So I think that was a turn off to her already, where she's gonna fall back. Even if he's giving her attention, she see that he got a lot of pokers in his fire.
Look at Moochie. Moochie, did you go to his school too? Let me find out you done went to his art tapestry in industry school too. Tell me he got a lot of pokers in the fire. Moochie, awesome. Speak on it, awesome. Speak on it.
I think that she was into him. I think that seeing him around all those women, it didn't really turn her off. It just made her more inquisitive as to, want to be around him more. Because then when they were sitting together,
100%.
When they were sitting together, she was all in his face. Okay, she was the one she was the one that was actually leaning in. That's why I was like, okay, I think she is the one who likes him more than he likes her. That's why I think that this is a dangerous situation. And I'm glad that Godfrey, that sexy chocolate ghost right there.
Yeah, I think Godfrey might handle him.
Woo.
He rough.
We need to get the backstory on him. Okay, he has 3 lives. I need to know about the life in Jamaica, the life in London, and now we're brought him to California.
He was a rude boy.
He was a bad boy.
Guy right there.
That's my guy
right there.
He was a really big bad man.
That is my guy right there, man. And awesome, you said so many wonderful things. In this moment, he had her swaying back and forth, smiling so big she was touching the back of her ears. He was saying all the right shit. I'm putting you in a art fellowship. You're gonna be signing books. You're gonna be kissing babies. You're gonna be touring the world. And she was just eating it like deer eat out the hand of baby. Just and
throwing her head back, laughing and stuff.
Yes. And I was sitting at the TV cussing her out like what the. And then
what the heck you doing, girl?
And then Moochie,
bald-headed man at the house.
Yes. Okay. Listen.
And you want to get mesmerized by these light eyes.
All right. And don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it, girl.
Don't do it.
The minute light skin eyes tapestry thought he was gonna reel that big one in, my man came in and cop blocked just the way I love to have seen it. Now, normally I don't like cop blocking, but in this situation, I was all for it. He came in and said, yes, she deserved all her roses, long overdue. And I was in here cheering like I'm in a daggone Marvel movie. Yes, I was clapping like the nerds be clapping in the Marvel movie. Yes, brother. Speak on it, awesome. Speak on when he popped up and broke and shattered that stuff.
Listen, I loved when he popped up, okay? But you can't cock block on what's already yours as far as I'm concerned. Because if I was her, he would already, okay, he's mine. I'm going to just say this. I like that he did make a stance, but again, it's all about his timing, especially when it comes to her, because he's already rubbed her the wrong way, right? So it was a good thing when he did show up, because I think that showed her more interest. Like he really, put things on hold. But what messed it up, of course, is when he came after Old Boy, light skin, right after that. You know what I'm saying? That completely messed it up. It was just like, but then he had a little bit of saving grace when he really, tapped to heart and let her know that, he was her number one fan. He's always been a fan of her work, So I think that helped. I think she's going to definitely try to reason with him. She would be stupid to leave her husband. He's fine as hell.
Yeah, but it
Ain't
ain't
no
all about look.
Listen, I know, but at the same time though, I also like the way that he laid out, to her, like, this ain't all my fault that,
It's not.
and it's not his fault that she stopped doing what she did. She chose to do that, out of whatever she felt that her need was. But I'm glad that he was able to lay it out to her and bring it back to her where he was like, this still needs to be kind of like something that you do. And tap into, and he still is supportive, even if she's going to continue to do it with the tapestry man. So kudos to Sexy Chocolate. Okay.
Yeah, I love this cast. Moochie, speak on it. Now, the only thing I didn't like from Vivian that was kind of pushing me away from her was she made a comment about you should have fixed this 15 years ago. And left that and put a period on that statement, Moochie, as if to say, okay, so you mean to tell me now, 15 years later, there's nothing I can do? Like, what, are we about to get divorced? What are you saying with that? Then she told him to go home. And I'm perfectly fine with people in their relationships needing space. We all need some space every now and then. But what you don't do this shit right here. Any therapist will tell you when you have had an emotional roller coaster with your spouse, and there's someone who's kind of feeling you, you're a little in denial about it, but you're trying to shoo it away. You do not send your husband home. You go out and have drinks with this person, whether he's a boss or not. And then another thing I've learned from owning the business, if she's going to be doing this thing with him, one thing that could ruin it is if they do smash, because that hardly ever works out unless you marry that person. Floor is yours, Mooch.
I think he has I think with this whole scene with Phil coming there, the way his approach was out of line. Her bringing up the 15 years thing, she resents him because her art career came to a pause, and I feel like that's not all his fault.
It's not.
It's not all his fault. She did that. And I think she got mad because he was like, okay, my wife used to be an artist, or used to paint, or used to this. So it's not like he made her stop. This was what she decided to do once the children were involved, once the children came.
Right. Moochie, to your point and Awwsum's point, a lot of this is just broken down communication.
I agree.
And it's hard for me we just got to keep this thing real from the way the story is given to us. A lot of this sounds like broken down communication on behalf of Vivian. And I don't want women to say, oh, he's piling up on the black women who's struggling. No, that's not what I'm doing, because y'all already know I'm a huge supporter of women, period. Black women, all women, I'm a huge supporter. I feel like the communication breakdown with the way Vivian is feeling right now is on her part, because he didn't know that she was itching to get back into the art. She didn't know that. And I'm still wondering, how do y'all feel about Joan? Do y'all think Joan is setting Vivian up on a snag, sending her into the arms of light-skinned eyes tapestries, knowing that he would tap into her artistic virulence, let me use words he would use, and get her out there? I'll give it to you first, Miss Awwsum.
No, I think Joan is trying to get back to the bag. Honestly, I think I think that she is inspired by Vivian, but like she said, she sold a lot of her pieces, and a lot of her pieces were worth a lot of money. There were still some pieces that Vivian still, wouldn't let her sell, and she always brings that up. I think that since she had the argument with Hillary, and Hillary kind of like threw in her face that she wasn't an artist anymore, kind of like putting it on the back burner, I think that really triggered her, and sometimes it takes those, conflicting arguments that mothers and daughters have to really like light a spark. And I think from there, she remained triggered. I mean, she was triggered when her husband said that she used to be a former artist. You know, she was like, "Why? An artist is just an artist. You never, you know, lose that, right?" And it's true, you don't. So she was right to correct him, but you know, even when she did that, she was triggered. So I think she has misplaced resentment. I think that her resentment should really be more with herself, and she needs to find a way to kind of forgive herself for making the choices that she did, and you know, choosing her family over her art. But we're living in a time, just like you know, this story is set in a time where she can reclaim both of those things.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think it's just a matter of doing that. But you know, light skin is dangerous. So.
And she has a husband who is supportive of her doing that. Oftentimes, women get with these husbands who make all this money. They just want you to stay home, you know, screw them, cook and clean and all that. That's not what he's saying to her. He's saying to her, honey, I didn't know that you had all these repressed feelings. When I first met you, I thought your art was beautiful. It made you even more beautiful. I didn't know that you was trying to do this. He didn't know that this was coming out of her. You know, her friends and her kids have kind of brought it back up. And she never really talked to him that I'm feeling like I want to get this done, you know, and God bless her for sacrificing her career to help him get where he's going. Women do that a lot. And nowadays the new trend is men are starting to do that. But have that conversation that, look, after this time period of raising kids, there's things I want to work on. My kids get in school, whatever. There's things I want to work on. Support me through that point when I'm ready to get back into the work world. And this is a man, Moochie, who's saying he's going to be supportive of her doing it. Now, Moochie, would you be mad if he said, I support you in your art, I'll throw money behind it, but I do not want you working with art, tapestry, light eyes, deco?
I feel like he should have, he needs to set some boundaries with it. I agree. But if this is going to push her art career further, then yeah. But as far as I believe he should trust her and set boundaries. Trust her, set boundaries, and let her, you know, let her flourish in her art career like how she let you flourish as being a lawyer.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see. I can tell you right now, any couples therapist is going to say you can't be doing this with art deco tapestries if your relationship is the most important thing to you. That's what a therapist is going to tell you, because lines have already been misconstrued with him. And that's why I'm on the fence with my second TV wife. I might have to let her go. I'm going to see how she do this episode. So you think she's going to
cross that line, Lamont?
She's going to cross that line because his ass is light-skinned and fine. She's crossing that line. She's crossing that line. The line is getting crossed.
Awwsum, you think she's gonna cross the line, Awwsum?
I don't think she, you know, I think she's at least gonna kiss him.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna like fully cross the line. I think, you know, by kissing him, she might feel a little guilty or whatever.
I don't want to cross the line.
I don't want that line crossed either, man. But
no, I feel like
and gentlemen,
he sets boundaries. If like what you said earlier about communication, I feel like if her and her husband communicate everything,
right,
and they set boundaries, then this is where, you know, it should end. You know,
it should, Moochie, but even with boundaries, you have to. When you set these boundaries, it's like making a business plan. And there are steps that you need to follow in that plan. And oftentimes what blow up the plan is you don't want to follow, or you don't follow these steps in the plan. So let's say they do set boundaries. Do you feel like she's at a point where she would adhere to those boundaries, Moochie?
So I guess they're going to have an entanglement then.
Oh, no, Moochie, don't.
Not an entanglement.
No, Moochie.
That's a whole other thing.
Moochie. Golly, Moochie. Oh, my God. See, Awwsum, you see what I got to deal with every week, Awwsum. Golly, Lord help me. Let's talk about somebody else, all right? Let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about somebody else who they reimagined this person's story arc, and I'm loving it. I got to talk about Hillary. Oh, my Lord help me.
Yes.
This cast. What can I say about this? Coco Jones is killing it. Do you hear me?
Yes,
Coco Jones is killing it. And I love the thirsty chef. Who?
I hate that.
Moochie. When she had that that flame for that creme brulee, I was sitting here saying, "Burn me, baby, burn me." But I feel some kind of way if I'm my TV wife is the mom and I'm looking at the daughter. So I quickly had to take that out of my mind, right? But she went up here and she dressed and did the thirsty chef, and she created an environment that all of us, we're YouTubers, so we're doing social media. She created an environment that we're all familiar with. How much are you willing to give up dignity, morality for the bag? Because oftentimes social media is so freaking hard if you're not doing something salacious. And I'll just keep it at that. And she done a little salacious, but she didn't really go forward with it because she didn't upload the video. But your boy did. Kylo did it on purpose. And then once you've seen the results of that salacious material, here come Victoria's Secret. So I'm going to come to you, Moochie. What is a sister to do? And Jazz was not feeling it. Now with Jazz, I think he was a little too harsh. He could have at least said, let's talk about it a little more, than to just all of a sudden, you ain't worth nothing. Check, please, I'm out of here. But let me know what you think about the whole thing with the thirsty chef.
I thought with this, I know she did it because it was like, I think she did it on the fly and didn't think everything through when she did this, because you got to keep in mind her dad's campaign. All of
That's
this.
True.
So it's like she did it on the fly, didn't think about it. And then before it was uploaded, she was totally against it. Her and Jazz discussed it, and they were on the same page until money got thrown into the mix in Victoria's Secrets.
Yeah.
And the bag, and that's basically what she's there for, is the bag.
Yeah.
To me, I didn't see anything wrong with her doing the Victoria's Secrets modeling, because now she'll be able to do that. But I don't know. I felt like he kind of was hard on her with it.
I did too. And it's always the dilemma a lot of us social media people, we get stuck in. We get stuck in this dilemma of doing things that we know will get views to try to get to a point where what we really want to do that has nothing to do with the salacious material oftentimes, hopefully we've got enough subscribers that like us, that they'll like our general content, which is what Hillary said she was going to do, you know? So Awwsum Speak on. Talk to me about why you didn't like the Thirsty Chef. I want to take me a drink.
I mean, I would have liked it better if Hillary actually had a chance to, you know, produce her own content. The fact that she did it and she decided not to put it out, you know, shows me that she was taking her dad's campaign and everything into account.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you know, she's living in this house with these stupid pranksters and everybody else. So, of course, you know, like the guy had the right to use the material, but, you know, the way that he did it, it was just like, I mean, he could have been a little less salacious, but I guess that's what got her the interview with, you know, Victoria's Secret. And I think Jazz just needs time to calm down because, you know that he's all into Viv, right? I mean, not into Viv, sorry, into Hillary. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But, what I wanted to say is that I think the reason he was so upset, though, is because, like you said, Mooch, they were on the same page when they left. You know what I'm saying? And he just kind of like switched, you know, she just kind of switched on him right in front of him right when they got there. I think if she would have took him to the side and had more of a conversation about her thought process, it would have made it more transparent for him and maybe he would have understood. But, you know, he was ready to, you know, there to kind of like defend her honor and to go all out. You know, and then, you know, she's just like, okay, pause. You know, and then I think it also made Jazz realize, like, how much are you willing to risk to get to the bag, you know? Because at first this was something that you were embarrassed by, you didn't want out. And now that there's money involved, you know, you're thinking twice about it.
Right.
That's life. I mean, for real. When people put money, and they're going to pay this girl 15 G's a post. Now, how long is this in perpetuity? Is this for 6 months? Because technically that girl could make 2-3 videos a day, 15 cha-ching, 15 cha-ching, 15 cha-ching. You know, how long? I guess we'll get more details about it. And I do agree with both of y'all that Jazz is going to come around. He's going to come around. He'll have to come around, especially if they're going to have Hillary, you know, just cooking in tasteful Victoria's Secret. Because Hillary seems like she is a little, y'all, I ain't trying to be too revealing, because what she was wearing with the Thirsty Chef, it was sexy, but it wasn't like showing a belly and a butt crack. It wasn't showing all that. So maybe Victoria's Secret to keep it with her doing it like that for a couple of posts, she'll make her money, and then maybe someone else will reach out to her where she can kind of go back more to the Rachel Ray style of cooking, you know, not being the Thirsty Chef, but being the chubby chef. I don't know. We'll see where they go. But to my girl, Black Fox, I thought you was on my team. Black Fox.
It's kind of hard going from being a thirsty chef to go back to Rachel Ray. I just want to say
it is. It is hard.
This is what I'm saying. Like, how's she gonna reel it back in?
But
it's hard.
But I think that the reason she didn't want to do that in the first place is, like she said, because Black women are over, you know, sexualized,
hypersexual,
and you know, hypersexualized, and you know, yeah. So she did kind of like contradict herself in that way. And because of it, I can understand why Jazz is upset. He's even more upset. He's like, you know.
And Jazz likes her. Mm-hmm. You know, Jazz is thinking, if this is going to be my woman one day, I don't want her showing all this stuff out there either. Jazz likes her. I think, and when I say like, I mean, I think he has genuine care for her as a friend with an attraction on top of all that. So
and he respects her.
Yeah, I'm glad definitely. He told her. I'm glad he told her that too, so that way she doesn't sell herself like that, because she wanted to be recognized as a chef. This is taking it somewhere else where they want her to model the stuff. So I don't know.
So well, it's like this, Moochie. Victoria's Secrets is not in the business of making biscuits. Hillary is. So what they are doing is no different from what people put money with NBA players. For example, Kia is paying LeBron James like $20 million every 2 years or something like that. Kia is not in the business of basketball. They're selling cars. But they want LeBron James to push the envelope for them because people like LeBron James. This is what Victoria's Secret is doing with Hillary. People liking Hillary not per se because of the brand of clothes she's wearing, but what she's wearing when she's cooking. And they want to capitalize on that aspect of it. So maybe they can do something tasteful, and I hope that it works.
I hope so too.
Yeah, Black Fox, I thought me and you was bonding. You've been here sending super chat money like the last 10 times I've been up here. I thought we was bonding. And now you want to give away some of my panty draws, Black Fox. Come on, man. You can always come on back home, Black Fox. Lord have mercy. You can always come on back home. And then I got another super chat from, let's see here. I missed it. It's Mr. GQ to you. Will going against Bro Code. Carlton's ex, though, shaking my head. We discussed that already, man. Go back and check out what we had to say about that. Now, there's something we got to talk about Carlton, because they introduced another phenomenally beautiful chocolate woman on this series that had herself a little sit down with Carlton to try to explain to him why people view him as a sellout. Now, let me find that clip. Where we at? Oh, here we go. Her name was Aisha. And Carlton didn't understand why people viewed him as a sellout. And she broke it down for him, but I think that the only thing she didn't do was expand on it enough that he could get it. But then later on in the episode, we didn't need her to expand on it because old Karen Connor pops up and wants to throw his white boy privilege weight around, and something unrealistic happened. All his friends showed up with him. The Asian guy, his white friends, and Carlton said, you need to apologize or leave. White privilege Connor said, okay, I'll leave, F it. Friends, let's go. All the friends stood together to tell him, no, we're not going to be going for it either. That's not realistic. I'm sorry. These dudes been hanging around white privilege all this long. Him and Carlton have had jokes. Everything Carlton said, misogyny, homophobia, talking about black people, talking about Mexican people. And then now all of a sudden, every single person in that crew decides they're not going with him. Now, it was good for TV. But if this was really happening for real, black dudes still wouldn't be getting mowed down. Black women wouldn't be getting mowed down by the cops. I like they put this in there, but the part that I liked the most was Aisha tipping her cup to Carlton to say, you know what? We are going to start pulling your name out that ranks of sellout. Awesome. You get this one first.
Honestly, I think the only reason the friends didn't go with white privilege, as you call him, right, is because Carlton had called him out for making jokes on the other guys. I think what it is with Connor, he makes jokes and he makes people feel like, oh, I'm only joking about them, but I would never joke about you. And I think that he had everybody under that pretense. And Carlton exposed that. He was like, yeah, you talk about Chinese, you talk about Mexican, you talk about, Russian, whatever. Now, I don't know why the guys in the back didn't leave. I could understand why the Asian gentlemen didn't leave, but there was nobody else, as far as I know, that was of color. But maybe one of them could have been Jewish or something like that, because he did say that as well. So, I mean, like you said, Lamont, in a realistic world, probably not. But then again, you never know. Times are changing. I mean, isn't everybody at the Bel-Air Academy School come from money or is of some money at some point? So it's just
not
like,
all of them. Some of them got scholarships like Lisa.
Right. But are the ones that are hanging around Connor really have scholarships?
No,
I don't
no,
think
they
so.
all of money. All of them.
Right. So because of that, I don't really think that they need to hang around him. But then again, these are teenagers again. So they're unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen.
You don't. Moochie, what'd you think?
I feel like they didn't leave now because he was one of the cool kids in the pack, and he didn't give parties, but now he giving parties. You was talking about everybody in the group from their sexuality,
their
ethnicity, and that
religion.
Right there, religion. So that right there drew the line. So yeah, you saying some of the people that didn't leave were white kids, like you said, they might have been Jewish. So it's like, yo, you know how somebody's like, he always does this, but I'm gonna still hang with him because he gives the best parties or something. But now it's like, we don't really need you like that anymore because we at Carlton's crib. He was already under all of that anxiety before, so now that things are changing, and he's doing so much stuff where I believe that's why Carlton had all this anxiety. Now that he's finding his niche and standing up for himself, and he has Will basically talking to him. Well, I don't know about now after the whole thing. I just feel like now that he has a little backbone where he stood up to his oppressor. That's how I say it.
Yeah, he did do that. And he got this sister looking at him. I mean, look, to me, y'all can say whatever the hell y'all want to say. This looked like a ride or die chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this looked like the chick you could put your roots in. She's going to help you grow. Y'all going to grow together, and y'all going to take on and move mountains. This like a ride or die chick. And would y'all like to see Carlton with this girl? Do you think this girl could level out Carlton a little more than what he is? I'll start with you, Moochie.
Hopefully, even though this conversation went left where he didn't like what he was hearing from her, but sometimes you got to hear the truth to turn over that new leaf.
Thank you. Thank you. Imagine how much better shape Tiger Woods would be in had he had somebody in his crew that would say no, Tiger, and not be surrounded by yes men. Awesome. What do you think? You think Aisha should be good for Carlton?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's definitely a ride or die chick. I think one of the things that will help to do with Carlton is open his eyes. But now in the predicament that they're in, especially now that things are getting complicated with him and Lisa, this whole love X triangle, I think Aisha is going to be the one to take his mind off of Lisa, to help him move on finally. And then in addition to that, she's going to be able to really show him another side of the world and open his eyes even wider to, his ignorance that he's missed. I mean, I couldn't believe, I was with Will the first time, you really met Carlton, and he was there, singing the N-word with Connor and the rest of everybody else. It was like, what? Nah, he deserved that punch in the face. And you kind of deserved it too for letting that slide. So, I'm with him on that one. Okay. But yeah.
Broke Connor's wrist. And you know what? Connor deserved that shit, talking about this is a sport y'all can't take from a nigga.
But that's what opened his eyes too. It was just like, because I think Carlton thought that he was exempt. Because of his money, and it's just like, oh, I'm just a fabulous person, so how could you not know?
Right.
People don't really like you like that, okay? And he thought that was really his friend. But when he said that, I'm pretty sure that just like turned the whole mindset around.
Open his eyes up, because like I said, Carlton has been stuck in the bubble. I said this on my video, and that bubble has never been pierced, because he's always had the opportunity to be the big fish in a little pond. He's been the rarity that's not in that school. He's a black dude, so all the things that make black people special, he's got that. But a lot of the things that we don't have, he's got the money to go along with. And you're in a white school, so pretty much your culture is hip to them. And whenever you do something, they want to be around you.
Right.
In walks Will. And they try to put Will through the damn ringer. And Will was the type of kid, I don't really need a friend to make it. I can make it on my own. And Carlton got his awakening call in this little lacrosse scene right here. Coach threw his butt on the practice team. Connor ran his damn mouth, old white privileged Karen Connor, talking about y'all can't take this sport. And that's when your boy, he was like, no, he did. And broke that wrist. Now y'all knew Connor was gonna try to do some get back. You knew he was. He gonna call the police in true Karen fashion to try to get them in trouble. And thankfully, Lisa is there to save it. But here's the catch to y'all. And I'll go with you on this one, Awwsum. How is Lisa daddy going to use this? Because he's going to use this on the campaign. You know it's coming. Talk about that.
I mean, he might use it, but then again, he might not, because his daughter was actually there at that party. So if it brings light to anything, it would bring also light to his daughter. And I don't think he wants to do that right now. But what I am, interested to see is if Uncle Phil will use the divide between the daughter and the stepmom in the campaign, because that was also a very telling moment right there in a lupus celebration for her mom, and the audacity of her at that, it was just like, what? You better sit your pregnant self down, okay, for you catch a sminak. But yeah, I thought that move, like that whole scene was handled very well, even amongst, elites, black people. They, she, Viv really handled herself very well. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna use it. He would be exposing his own family and his own daughter at being at the party, and she did lie, so that would be even like a bigger thing.
That's true. Moochie, what do you think about Fred Roland Flintstone cheating on Lisa mama? Lupus at the golf tournament, instead of putting holes in ones, he was sticking holes in ones.
Exposing the cheating.
He got exposed because Viv knew that was Viv's girl. Like, yo, you know what? She was still alive when y'all met.
Right.
When y'all went away.
Don't let Lisa find that out.
Well, Lisa gonna find out.
He can't use the cops coming to the party for one. Is that the scene you talking about too?
Yeah, that too.
Talk about that too. The scene with the pop, because that's gonna prove Phil's point even better with the defunding the police thing.
Yes, Moochie, talk about it.
Because that was with the whole look. Come on, that's racial profiling. What he did. He's telling you, I live here. This is my house. This is my party, and it was like they didn't put force on him, but they was ready to. But he knew how to calm. He spoke in a calm manner, so that's why I didn't go left like that. But still, it's not a good look for the police department, and he's the chief of police. If he didn't know the chief of police, how you think that would have went? So that's really not a good look.
So y'all don't think now this campaign getting ugly, and y'all don't think that Fred Roland Flintstone would twist this story, how the police lie about the manner in which they figured out what was going on at this party, and say that someone took his sweet daughter there, which is why she called the police, and put the ball in her court to tell the truth versus what the police saw and put in their police report?
No, because the biggest story. No, because the biggest story.
Speak up.
The biggest story is how Will got to California.
Yeah.
Remember, he was always.
He didn't tell her though, right?
No. He said it was just for education, but that's why I'm saying that's going to be the bigger story, because he was always side-eyeing Will from the time that he came up to Uncle Phil. You know, from the first day that he got there.
The very first episode.
That's going to be the story. That's going to be the story. But Godfrey's going to put an end to all of that. Godfrey.
Yes. MI6. MI6, baby. Y'all ain't seen my video on his backstory. Go check out my MI6. That is my boy.
Yes.
I'm trying to get him to come up here and do an interview. You know, I've been
chit-chatting.
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
I've been chit-chatting back and forth
Look.
with him and with Adrian. Adrian Holmes is the guy that plays Uncle Phil.
Okay.
And I just got to get the communication lined up, because they love my videos. They click on them, they like them, they think I'm funny as hell, all that.
No.
But I've got to figure out how I can get their publicists to get these messages coordinated properly so we can get them brothers up here.
Yes, please.
Up here. Yeah, man. Gotta get them.
Come on with the sexy chocolates. Okay.
I'm gonna have to pull out my real deep resource. I'm gonna have to pull out my Batman resources to get them here. Because in all honesty, we've got 250 in the building on a Saturday night, right?
Hey.
To hear us talk about Bel-Air. Be sure to subscribe to Awwsum's channel. You should already be subscribed to Moochie's channel. Yes. People loving this Bel-Air. And this Bel-Air has done as bigger numbers for me as Tommy's and the Power Book stories have done, because this story is just that good. A great story. Great
I was
rendition.
pleasantly surprised. Yes.
Me too.
I was open from when I saw the trailer that the guy made when Will picked it up, decided that he's gonna pick the ball up and run with it. So I was open from then. And I was like, I hope he does this. And look, voila, it's here on Peacock.
And it's running. And there was another great show on Peacock called Endgame. Has one of my Dart sisters up there with one of my old TV wives from like 5 years ago. I had to cut her loose after Homeland. But my wife was fine with that. She let me back in easily on that. I ain't getting no trouble in that, because I wasn't talking about her on a national syndicated YouTube channel. I wasn't talking about her then. But that show is pretty good. And I want you guys to come back and check us out. This week, I'm bringing in B. Avery, talk about his channel, talk about the ups and downs of being a Black movie and TV reviewer on YouTube. And we're going to chop it up on our favorite scenes from Power Force and our favorite scenes from Bel-Air. And for my Power fans, the very next week, I've got my Paulina Wynn. She's going to be coming talking about how she got her role on Power Force, the things she's doing on the internet, how she support Black Lives Matters. And I want y'all to quit talking them jokes y'all be having talking about she support Black penises matter. I don't want to hear no more of that.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Who said
somebody in one of the comments got the nerve. Yeah, they do matter. But
they do
she's
matter.
not coming here to say that. She's coming to say that we all matter. Okay,
They matter.
ladies and gentlemen,
Everybody matters.
The
Yeah.
chocolate
we all matters. Yes.
Yes, we all matter.
Why you sticking that straw in and out, Mooch? See, I can't with y'all, man.
I got ice. Get your mind out.
Put them
the gutter.
hammers up, man. Put them hammers up. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to
your mind
subscribe
out
to
the
Miss
gutter.
Awwsum's channel. And I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow with the wife. Y'all know how I love to antagonize her on these YouTube streets.
Lord
so
help
come
us.
check us out around 2 or 3 o'clock when we go live to talk power next episode. And then we'll be back Monday. Till that next Sex is Hell video, guys. We'll see you.
Later.
Later.